Guys, so welcome back to my channel. Okay, so today I'm going to be doing the comparisons. The reason I haven't been doing it over the weekend, any videos over the weekend actually, is because I've been babysitting all weekend. So now that I'm done babysitting, I have time to be able to do this. So why not? This is going to be a comparison slash just using products. So there's going to be some that it's just going to be one product on both sides. Like now with sunscreen. All over my face I'm going to use the e.l.f. Sun Touchable Wow Glow. SPF 30. So, and then I'm going to do my lip balm too. So again, I'm going to talk about every single product I use today. So now, a second product I'm going to use on both sides, and I pretty much have a full face plan, is my e.l.f. Lip Exfoliator in Brown Sugar. I have a little mirror here. And I have a little Q-tip here. Alright. Then I'm going to take a paper towel. Wipe that off. Then I'm going into my e.l.f. Squeeze Me lip balm in Grape. Right. Now, I don't know how much wear I'm going to get out of this. So, for the products that I am doing a comparison on, the right side of my face, so this side is going to be all e.l.f. This side's going to be whatever else. Unless it's not a comparison, then it's going to be both sides e.l.f. So on the e.l.f. side, I'm going into the e.l.f. Lock-On Liner and Brow Cream. And I think I'm going to use my Precision one for this one. The Spolium Precision Shader. Fluff up my brows. Alright, this is already, I can already tell this is going to be creamier. They're both brown shades, so the shade's going to be close. Wow, that is extremely pigmented. I'm going to blend that out a bit. So, that is extremely pigmented. And I didn't even use much. Wow. Okay. That was a little much. Be right back with some Q-tips. I'm just gonna bring the whole thing out. That was a little much. So now I'm going to go into my micellar water. Trying to clean up this brow a little bit. I think that was crazy. It is pigmented and it is very creamy. Man. Okay, so now I'm going to take that, put it on the back of my hand. I am going to be brushing through everything once I'm done. Now on the other drugstore side, I'm taking the Milani Stay Put Brow Color in the shade Soft Brown. You can already tell the e.l.f. one is definitely creamier. They're both about the same in pigment, though this adds a more, not really natural, but it's more natural than the e.l.f. But honestly, I don't know if I'm, like, if it's a problem. I don't know if it is. Oh. So now I'm going to clean up the other side. I'm going to try and diffuse this. After I clean up the brows. So now I'm going to take my spoolie side and try to diffuse the color a little bit. That looks like it's not going to. Now I'm taking my Q-tip again and cleaning up around my brows one more time. Okay. Now I'm going to go in with my angled brush for the spoolie and take the e.l.f. Brow Lift Gel on both sides. And I'm gonna I'm really making sure. To coat the brow hairs with it. Like I said, I'm going to be talking about all of them again because this is a new week. And then I think I'm just going to start my weeks on Sunday. Okay. Alright. Now here's another comparison I'm doing. We have the e.l.f. Lock It Down eyeshadow primer. On the e.l.f. side. With my normal e.l.f. brush, or not my normal e.l.f. brush, but my normal eye primer brush. Then on the other side, I have the Milani eyeshadow primer. I'm going to tell you right now, I like the application of the e.l.f. one better, but that's just a personal preference. So don't dock me for that, or don't dock the product for that. That's just a personal preference. So we're gonna let that set. So I got that. While we're doing that, I'm gonna get my 2 eye shadows, or my 3 eyeshadows. So the palettes is gonna be on the e.l.f. side, the e.l.f. Bite Size palette. Then on the just regular drugstore side is the Milani Gilded Mini, because they're both neutrals and has about the same shades. And then on both sides is the e.l.f. Liquid Metallic eyeshadow in Moon. And I do need to put my hair back. So, Yay. Alright, let's get started. I'm going to get 3 crease brushes out just to use as many brushes as I can to keep everything clean. So I'm going to get out the brushes I used. Like I said, just to keep everything clean and organized. The actual crease brush, or sorry, 4 if you want to include the actual crease brush in the middle. Then got my detail brush, and that's it. Alright, so I'm going to use this one for both cream shades. So I'm going into the e.l.f. one using the cream ivory white shade on the e.l.f. side. I forgot a blending brush. That's a contour brush. That's a nice crease brush. There's a blending brush. So the e.l.f. one is very pigmented. I love this. And of course, I'm going to be blending after each color. The biggest difference I see, like right off the bat, is the fact 4 shades, 6 shades. The Milani also seems very pigmented. Well, not as pigmented as the e.l.f., but close. Alright, so now I'm going to take this crease brush. I'm going to go into my warm tone brown. On the e.l.f. side, start carving out my... Man, that makes me sound like I'm doing a pumpkin. But you know what I mean. Start blending this in. Like I said, these e.l.f. shadows are very pigmented. That's why I love them. So, got that. Then for the other eye, just okay. Trying to figure out. This looks the closest to the e.l.f. I mean, these shadows are very blendable. Wow, that is extremely pigmented too. Wow. That's nice. It's very nice to know. So, again, blending brush. We are looking pretty similar so far. Not really. This is a bit darker because it was either that or something a bit lighter. So now I'm going to take my blending crease brush for both eyes and I'm going into the brown I normally put in my crease for the alpha side. And this is going into the actual crease and a bit higher just because of the placement of my eyes. But it might be your actual crease for you. So, then again, taking my blending brush, clean it off. There's like a hair or something on it. And get rid of those harsh lines. So, from what I can see, the e.l.f. is more muted and natural, and the Milani is a little bit more warm toned. And this is in the shade Whiskey Business, by the way. I don't know if I said that already. So I got the closest one to that cool tone shade, which is not very accurate, but it was this one, but it's not very accurate. But it works. Now I'm taking my detail brush for both sides again. I'm going into my last shade of the e.l.f. And again, the outer corner and into halfway into that brown. That's on the actual crease. Okay. Then again, blending brush. Just to really blend that in. Then I'm going into the brown that looks the closest to that brown in this palette. So we get the same look on both sides. Same thing over here. Wow, that is pigmented too. So, looks like the Milani is a little more pigmented than the e.l.f., which is fine. But it's fine. It works. It's not like it's a big deal. Now for the metallic shadow. Again, this is on both sides. so pretty. Alright. And again, I will clean up underneath. Afterwards, I'm going to let that glitter shadow dry. Then I'll go in with tight lining, which I have 2 different pencils for tight lining. I'm going to tight line today, which is why I'm letting this dry, is because I need my other mirror. Then do the upper wing, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so now we are going to tight line. So on the e.l.f. side, I have the e.l.f. Smoky Cool Eyeliner. I wonder if I could just do it this way. Yes, it's gonna take a minute because when air gets in my eyes, it irritates them. So. Shoot. It's not working. Hold on. I'm gonna need to go on the other side. I sure this was a way to like prop you up on this side. Oh. Alright, and then I'm not gonna do that much. Just like the outer portion of both sides, the top and bottom, just because I'm only doing the top outer portion of my upper lash just to keep the glitter open. Just making sure. There. Alright. So we got that. And of course I'm probably gonna have to, doesn't look like it actually. Still looks really beautiful. Now on the other drugstore makeup side, we have the Wet n Wild Kohl Eyeliner pencil in Sima Brown Now. Again, just the outer. Whew. My eyes. And I'm doing something soft like brown because I'm using a black mascara. Oh. These are both very pigmented, very creamy, very easy to work with. Okay. So, we'll see which one lasts longer. If either one lasts longer. And just which one I like better. Okay, so I'm also using one of the black eyeliners. I mean, this is the closest to what Wet n Wild has. So it's the e.l.f. just regular eyeliner pen in coffee. Just a little bit. Wait a little bit. Alright. So we got that part. Then I have the Wet n Wild Breakup Proof Skinny eyeliner pen in Ultra Black. It's gonna be a little bit on the glitter, but don't think it looks too bad. So, as they're not done though, and I found a cool trick that I'm gonna try today for mascara, and just which one I like better. And after trick or treat next week, so it's either going to start on a Sunday or Monday, depending how busy I am during the weekend. But after trick or treat next week, this is going into my empties, just because I'm not going to use it again after that. So now I'm going to curl my lashes. Oh yeah. Okay. Yay. Oh, it's hot. Turn it around. Okay. So on the e.l.f. side, I have the e.l.f. Lash Beats Defining and Lengthening Mascara. So this is what I could find that's closest to the Maybelline. I mean, the wands are the same. What it does is the same. I need to get a lash fan brush. Doesn't look spidery though. That one is a good choice. Then I got the Maybelline Sky High, which I also like. The wands are the same. The only difference is this one is more flimsy than the e.l.f. one. But I mean, what they do as far as what the mascara does. Oh crap, I was gonna try it. It's using a Q-tip to collect all the mascara so you don't have mascara smudge marks. So I think I like the Sky High better, but we gotta see how it wears and stuff. So now I'm gonna clean my under eyes and go into the face portion of the makeup. Okay. So let's do all my liners. I have it. So I'm gonna use that one last. So on the e.l.f. side, because I'm gonna do blurring before gripping. So on the e.l.f. side, I have the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. You are going to use the same brush for everything for primer. Just because this brush I'm using really works with primer. It's my e.l.f. Putty Primer Applicator. So, got a hydrating, smoothing primer, which I think is really good with the smoothing part. Now, its opponent today is not drugstore. It is high-end, but it's what I got from Ipsy. It's the Sauté London Everyday Vacay Hydrating and Smoothing Primer. So another hydrating, blurring primer pretty much. So again, we're doing wear test with this. We're just seeing which ones I really like the most compared side by side, or if I just did it all over the face. Okay, I'll let that dry down. I want to do sticky primers with my fingers today, and the other one with my fingers too, because I don't have much redness. So, then my color corrector. And then after everything's on, powder, then underpainting, which is going to be more comparisons. Well, besides a couple of products. So, on the e.l.f. side, because I'm like just a regular, well, this is hydrating, but this is also hydrating. The e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. Just which grippy primer do I like best? Do I like crap? The e.l.f. one, which I just put on. Stickiness. This is why I also say this is a good one for the other one, because this one's not as sticky when you only use 2 pumps. And then the other one is the Essence Jelly Grip, which is also a gripping primer. I'm gonna do 2.5. This one is a gripping primer, but it's not, and just like the e.l.f. one, it's not as grippy, and it's like half the price. So now we're gonna do color correcting a little different today. I'm using the e.l.f. Tone Adjusting Face Primer just because I don't have much redness today. Oh. I don't have much redness to blur today. I have a little redness on my cheeks, but not much. So I'm like, oh, this will really work. I don't like the silicone feel that it has. Now that I got a feel for the formula without a brush, it has like a silicone feel, like the Poreless face primer does, and I don't like it. But it's better than the Poreless, so. Alright, I'm gonna let that set for a few seconds, and then I'm gonna go into my e.l.f. yellow corrector and then a different brightener. And then I'll be ready for my 2 powders. Yay! Oh, my nose itches. Alright. So I'm going into the yellow corrector. Here, 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 and up on my forehead. I'm taking this concealer brush that came with my potted concealer. I love okay. So I'm gonna let that set for a minute, and then I'll go into the last corrector before powder. Which is going to be the e.l.f. Putty Eye Brightener, Color Correcting Eye Brightener in Fair. And taking the same brush, I'm just going to tap it in a couple times. And really get in there and then tap it out. I forgot to do a small skincare routine, so I don't know how long this is gonna last, but I'm hoping it lasts long. Alright. So I got 2 brushes I'm gonna use. First is the setting brush to set that corrector. And then I'm gonna use powder brush like this to lightly set the primers on and the corrector on the face. So on the e.l.f. side, I have the e.l.f. HD powder and sheer, which this is very finely milled and very messy, but very smoothing and very setting. It sets very well. So this is why I have confidence in this powder. And everything will last longer. Then I'm going to take a powder brush and lightly set on this side of my face. I'm using the same powder brush to really get it on there and to lock it into place. It like kind of wiped my makeup away right here. So that's for that side. And today I'm gonna, very messy. Today I'm going to bake with a brush, or no, puffs. Then the other one is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Loose Setting Powder in translucent. This one's not as finely milled. Like I said, this one's not as finely milled as the e.l.f., which is good because this is less messy than the e.l.f. But other than that, it feels exactly the same on the face, and it's translucent, so it doesn't show up on the face. So I'm still gonna need my other brush for the setting part. Okay, so now underpainting, which I'm just going to do my cheeks for the contour today, and the rest will be the bronzer. So I need to get my spongy sponge out. And get that wet. And once we get done with trying everything from these makeup brands, I'll write down everything that I liked and repurchase it. So on the e.l.f. side, we have the e.l.f. Halo Glow Contour Wand. And I'm also gonna contour my nose. So I got my contour brush. This is in the shade Fair Light. Doing 3 dots. This is a very cool toned contour. And I'm gonna make sure. So this is very sheer. Once you sheer it out, it can be very sheer and more like a shadow, which is why I like using the 3 dots, because it's more like a shadow. It's still pigmented, So this works. Now for the nose part. So for the nose part, again, it's very natural. And once I blend it out, my nose is very sculpted. So it is very good. I love it. Now on the other side, we have the Milani Liquid Contour Conceal and Perfect in the shade Honey. So this is a little more warm toned. But once sheared out, it's still very sheer, like it's pigmented, but it's still very sheer, like a natural contour. So they both work. It's just, well, at least on the cheeks, they both work. Now on the nose, again, or the side of my nose. I'm taking my angled shader brush to contour, to blend it out. It works on the nose too. It's just a natural shadow on both the cheeks and the nose. So this product works and definitely shears up. So I'm going to take my spongy sponge just to go over everything I just did with that contour, just to make sure. Now for bronzer, I'm going into the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer in the shade Sun Kissed with my deluxe crease brush. So for this, I'm going to put this on my jawline to give a very natural bronzy glow there. And I'm also going to use the contour brush on this to blend it out. And then I'm going to do the sides of my temples to like that. Give a more bronzy glow there too. So now I'm going to take my contouring brush, go and blend it down first. So bronzer is usually more warm toned and does not leave a shadow. It's more sun-kissed. So here we're going to blend it up into the hairline first, then blend it down. So, got that. Now for liquid blush, this is going to be a comparison to, and it's going to be on the cheeks, and we're going to do a very lifted cheek look. So I need both my cream, both liquid blush brushes. So on the e.l.f. side is the e.l.f. Camo Liquid Blush, in the shade Dusty Rose. So here and here. 2 dots. Then I'm going to take my Real Techniques blush brush and I'm going to blend it upwards. Like I said, we're doing a lifted cheek. So I am wanting to blend it pretty much into that bronzer. See how it's like a lifted cheek? So blend it upwards and then into the hairline. And I will be using my sponge to blend that better. So, and I should blend this better too. So, look how natural that looks. Alright. Then I have the B Color Liquid Blush and Coral Crush. This is for the other side. The comparison side. So 2 dots here too. This is very pigmented too. So do be careful with these. And then I'm taking my other blush brush. We're doing the same thing here. Doing a lifted look. So up, blend it back, like kind of up and back. Do the lifted cheek look. This is more a coral pink, and this is more of a rosy natural blush, but they are both pigmented, they both work. So this is just more natural than this one, but they both work. Alright, now for liquid highlight on both sides, I'm doing the e.l.f. highlight wand and liquid gold. So again, more lifted look. So I'm going to take my highlighting brush here, and we'll use my fan brush for the other part. So more lifted look again. I'm doing a little bit here and then taking some more from my cheeks, going down the bridge of my nose and on my forehead. Not doing concealer yet because I have not done foundation yet. So, got that. Again, taking my sponge. Okay. And look at that. All right. So now I'm going to do foundation and get foundation into this. So I'm going to use this foundation brush first for the e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Foundation in the shade Fair Warm with my blue color corrector. So, love it. And make that. And again, stipple it. Make sure get an even amount. and go down onto the side of the nose. Luckily, I think what I did for the pumps, maybe one more, but not as much as normal. Yeah. One more. So that was the e.l.f. one. And we're still going to use the color corrector for the other one because it can be a little warm tone unless it blends with everything that I've already done. And then it just gets dark. So, like I said, just gonna do this. And done. So to match this side, because I got a more medium coverage on the one side, and I'm using a full coverage on the other. It's the one I picked that were closest to like shade wise and stuff. So I'm just gonna do it less on this side. So of course I'm gonna be blending this with a sponge as well, but that won't be until afterwards. So now I'm going into the Believe Beauty Skin Finish Foundation in the shade Shell with a little bit of blue color corrector. This one is more liquidy than the e.l.f. And again, it is fuller coverage than the e.l.f. But that's not a problem. And the e.l.f. does not have a scent, but this does have a scent, which is a big turn off for me. So, one more. So this has definitely toned it down and made it more suitable for my skin tone. So that's good. And adding that corrector actually helped with coverage, because now they look the exact same. So that's good. All right. So now concealer. Concealer. Oh, no. First, spongy. Alright. Now on the e.l.f. side is the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer in the shade Fair Warm. So you're gonna let that marinate. While we let that marinate, I'm also gonna put some on the side of my nose in like a triangle shape for the contour. Okay. That is so nice. And then we have the Wet n Wild Incognito All Day Full Coverage Concealer in the shade Fair. So I'm like, not exact. So I'm gonna let that marinate. So alright, and then now so got that, and then so now spongy. Just so itchy. Alright, and like I said, I am baking today. So while I let this sit for a minute, I'm going to take the purple one for e.l.f. and this one for the other side. Alright, so I'm going to start baking, start getting the bake on for e.l.f. So I'm going to take my powder puff. I know it's a little dirty, but it'll work. And I'm going to apply it on to see how it bakes. I'm going to try that with the e.l.f. one and the e.l.f. Halo Glow too. And then I'm going to take that same powder brush that I used before. And the only reason I don't bake right here, that's not the reason, but because it can get a little creasy because of me moving my neck and stuff, even with the light set. So I just choose the light set. So, yeah. That's that. Now I'm going to take my other one. I'm going to go into the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Loose Setting Powder. And do the same thing on this side that I did on the other side with the baking. See which one bakes the best. So far, the Wet n Wild side wins. Just because I didn't do the offside right. That's the only reason. That's just user error. But oh crap. No. What do I set down here? So I'm gonna let that sit for like 5 minutes. And then I'll take it off and we'll finish. I'll be right back in 5 minutes. It's only been like 2 or 3, but I'm like, I still have stuff to do today. So I got the setting brush. So as far as the bake, this side, the elf side, in my opinion, wins. It's just so much more natural because of the Wet n Wild not being a 100% true translucent. Kind of changes the color of my makeup, while the other side does not. So, alright, now I'm going to use bronzing. I'm using the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer and this sculpting brush here. And my big blending brush. This is in the shade Light Bronzer. So this is going to be a little bit lighter than that bronzer that I had on. This is to blend it in to the skin better, giving the powder more color. Well, this don't need more color, but it also gives the face more color. So the little mirror I'm using is actually from my first one of these. So I know it seems a little weird. I just did my forehead so I can talk. I know it seems a little weird doing this, but I promise the shadow still is there. So I'm gonna take the bronzing brush. I'm gonna go into the bronzer. And I'm gonna re-sculpt out my cheeks where I put that contour. I promise the shadow still goes through. It just gives more warmth to the face. So really quickly, I'm going to take another paper towel. I'm going to go ahead and wipe off my lips, the lip balm. So on the e.l.f. side, I'm also going to use this blushing brush. On the e.l.f. side, I have the e.l.f. Blush and Blushing, which is a shimmery finish. I don't really need to. I'm going to talk about each product anyways. So this one's a little more sheer and a bit buildable. It is a shimmery finish, but it doesn't show texture like it normally would. And it doesn't disrupt everything that's underneath. So that's good. Now with this brush, I'm going into the NYX Buttermelt Blush and Getting Butter. Just a couple. This is a bit more pigmented, so I might use this brush just to done the little bit that I did helped, and I'm also blending this in to the skin better. So blending. Okay. So now with my fan brush, I'm going into my Satin Sand highlighter, which is a gold highlighter. And I'm going to put it here. This is also from an Ipsy box, or an Ipsy bag. Then down the bridge of my nose. So I put it on my cheeks, down the bridge of my nose, on my forehead, and on my chin. So now I'm gonna do my setting sprays first. On the e.l.f. side is the e.l.f. Stay All Night. On the other side is the Essence Fix and Last. So I can notice right off the bat a big difference. This leaves droplets and is more harsh of a spray than this one. This one's a more fine spray and doesn't leave water, the droplets. But that's not a big deal. So now I'm going into my e.l.f. Cream Glide Lip Line. In the shade Truth or Bare. So we got that. Then I'm going in with an e.l.f. the e.l.f. O Face Satin Lipstick in No Doubt. And then topping it with the e.l.f. Glow Reviver Lip Oil in the shade Crystal Clear. Okay. So this is the finished look. Hold on. I gotta show you. So I'm gonna keep it on for a few hours if I can buy my glasses and just talk about each product I used today. My likes and dislikes. And which one I prefer. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.